Hello, right, in this little video we're going to talk about a band called General Jack. Now you might not have heard of them. I hadn't until recently when an email arrived from the band's vocalist Darren Joyce asking me if I wouldn't mind taking a look at General Jack, well a listen really, because it's music, right? And he said that the band's style was classic hard rock with new wave of British heavy metal influences, so of course I was interested. Before I ramble on a little bit about it, if I could ask you a teeny tiny favour first, and that's if you wouldn't mind please subscribing to the channel. Click the little button, doesn't cost anything and it's a big help if you wouldn't mind please. Anyway, Darren kindly sent me both the band's albums that have come out in recent years. The most recent one just a few weeks ago, back last month, just about 6 weeks ago in August. I asked Darren if he could tell me a little bit about the band, and he gave me these words. He said General Jack were formed in 1997 and at that time consisted of Scott Gregory on bass and backing vocals, Patrick Jackson on guitar, Kim Clark on drums, and Darren himself on vocals. And the band recorded an original track back then called Fantasy in 1998, and then spent the next 20 years or so being a covers band and played gigs all over the place, including the Rock and Blues Festival a few times in 1999 and 2000. Darren left in 2013 and Scott Gregory took over on vocals, and Ash Tustain came in on bass and backing vocals, but then the band split again in 2018. However, General Jack reformed in 2022 to do a one-off festival. Kim Clark decided not to return, so Sean's nephew came in, Drew Poxon on drums and backing vocals. And then at that point the band decided to record an originals album, the first of which, their debut album Save Your Soul, would be released in 2024. And then they had a couple of appearances at Mearfest and a support to Quartz, appearance at the legendary Cart and Horses in London in 2023 and 2024. And then in August 2025, Last Soul Standing was released, the band's second album. And later on this year, in December, they're due to perform at the Dementia Aware Festival in Coventry. So that's a little potted history about General Jack. Now you're probably wondering what the music's like. Well, wouldn't blame you for wondering. Well, let me tell you, both these General Jack albums are top draw indeed. And that description that Darren gave me of classic hard rock with new wave of British heavy metal influences is spot on. We've got all sorts of good stuff going on here. We've got punchy, hard, heavy, crunching, fuzzy, throbbing riffs, thumping bass lines, scorching guitar work. The drumming keeps it all in pace and under control, and the vocals are very nice too. And there's also lots of variety throughout. There's no two songs anywhere on these two albums that sound the same. So much variety and enjoyment in them. If we take a quick look at some of another tongue twisting day. Take a look at some of that debut album of Save Your Soul. Parasomnia, such a fine powerful opener. It's heavy and it's doomy. The title track's got a big prominent bass line up there with big solid chords and a jingle jangle kind of feel to it. Massive hooky as well, big hook. Eyes Are Lying, nice, hard and heavy again. The questions in the answer brings in some sort of like slide guitar, and it's a very well constructed sort of slightly quirky bluesy style, and it's quite an infectious song, something a little bit different. Cold Hearted Woman packs in the power, as does the closer of Lost Generation. Now this is a glorious song. Big doomy brooding riffs fit the lyrics very well, create some atmosphere. The midsection takes off at some pace and power. Then it switched back to the brooding, doomy stuff. It's a really effective song, and again, listen to the lyrics and you'll understand why it's like it is. And so then Last Soul Standing keeps things going quite nicely in a not dissimilar style. More of the hard-hitting songs such as Original Sinner, No Better Than Me, and The Reaper Call. Oh, and Hope, there's one called Hope that's crushingly fast and heavy, a brief, short, sharp shock. And there's some bouncy, catchy stuff such as Funeral from Above and the Fast and Furious Fugitive to demonstrate the variety in the songwriting. And another note as to variety in songwriting comes with Guardian of the Realm. Now, this is a superb 7 minutes of slow burning, broodingly atmospherics, building up gradually with a melancholy feel to it. It's such a grower of a song. It's quite hypnotic as it stretches out over that 7 minutes or so. Now, after listening to both of these albums repeatedly for about the last week, I've got absolutely no hesitation in recommending very strongly that you check out General Jack further. To me, I can hear lots of in some of the more powerful riffing. I can hear lots of early budgie, like Tony Borg and whatnot, and I can hear quartz in there as well. And I don't think that's any bad thing. Both of them really are top draw stuff. Now, as to obtaining them, General Jack have a Bandcamp page which the digital versions are available from, to which I will link to in the description below. And I believe that you can, if you prefer a good old physical CD, if you contact the band through the Bandcamp page, I believe some are available. But strongly recommended stuff, really is. I thank Darren for getting in touch and being kind enough to send me the CDs. And I think after posting this, I'll go and listen to them again. But that's it for this one. Please do subscribe before you go to the channel, because that would be a big, big help. And until next time, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and take care.